Hello, people. It's Friday. You know what that means.
What is thy bidding, my master? I am your father. If you only knew the power of the dark side.
It's time to talk about movies. And what movies did I watch this week? Yes, it's Bob from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I'm here to talk about movies that I watched this week. So let's get started. I watched some good ones. I watched some bad ones. Alright, where am I? Got my trusty little book with me. Alright, let's see. Well, Saturday I watched Bomba. Yes, Bomba. Bomba and the Jungle Girl, 1952. Bomba and the Jungle Girl. Bomba sets out to find out who murdered his parents. Johnny Sheffield. Right, so he wants to find out where he came from. You know, everybody knows Bomba, the Jungle Boy. He's in the jungle, he's grown up in the jungle, all the animals are his friends and all that stuff. Comes across the book, of course he can't read, so he wants to find out what the book's all about. The whole main idea about this, the short little movie, is that how did he get to where he was and who murdered his parents. So interesting story, that one was okay. That gets a 6 out of 10. Most Bomba movies gets a 6 out of 10. I don't know, my battery running down or what? Alright, what else did I want? Alright, okay, I watched a film noir, I'm pretty sure it's a film noir. It's called They Wouldn't Believe Me, 1947. A cheating husband is put on trial for a murder, and his story is told in flashbacks, right? So he's sitting in the court, he's on the chair beside the judge, and they ask him questions, and he starts answering, and then it all goes to flashbacks. Yeah, Susan Hayward and Jane Greer's in this. So it tells you all about this cheating husband and how, you know, does he murder his wives? Did he murder his wives or not? Right? So the ending is very twist-worthy. Gets to the end of this movie and there's a twist in it. You don't see it coming. It's one of those movies you sit there and with your mouth open going, oh, but I can't tell you, right? I don't want to wreck it for you. So, yeah, They Wouldn't Believe Me, 1947. Seen it on TCM, of course. All right, that gets a 7. Well, of course, I watched Young Frankenstein. Gene Wilder and Peter Bull. Well, I watched that. What did I give that? I can't remember. I think I gave it an 8. But everybody knows that one. Then I watched Life Begins for Andy Hardy. 1941, the 10th entry. This is the 10th movie of Andy Hardy. So Andy decides to skip college and head off to the big city, probably New York, I guess. Let's call it New York. And he decides to get a job, right? And, you know, get his fortune, make lots of money. But he finds it very rough. He runs out of money very fast, and he can't find a job. So yeah, Judy Garland's in this too. She's in it a lot, so it's worth to watch this one just because of Judy Garland. I gave that a 7. Big 7 for Andy Hardy's 10th entry in the movie department. Life Begins for Andy Hardy. What else did I watch? Oh, I watched another movie on TCM. Johnny Cool, it's called, from 1963. A gangster heads to New York, let's call it New York. As a hitman, he wants to wipe everybody out, right? He's rolling around killing everybody. It's a nasty piece of work. He's a nasty piece of work, right? So, yeah, it stars Henry Silva in one of his leading roles, which he didn't really lead a lot in movies. Henry Silva, if anybody knows that guy, right? And it has about a 5-minute, Sammy Davis Jr.'s in it for 5 minutes. So the best thing about this movie, has Elizabeth Montgomery in it, playing a serious type role. It's like a girl that she falls in love with Henry Silva's character like a day later, right? It's all bullshit, right? So, you know, everything in this movie is mostly just bullshit. So, everything goes by too fast. She falls in love with this Johnny Cool guy. He's a killer and all that, right? I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's worth a 6, but no, you don't have to watch this one again if it comes on. I'm not going to watch it again. One's good enough for me. Johnny Cool, 1963, gets a 6. I watched Monsters right here. Monsters right here. Yeah, at one time they brought aliens back to Earth with them, right? When they're up there, you know. Then my battery's gonna run out, so I don't know if I can talk for the next 4 minutes. Monsters, 2011, gets a big 6. Yeah, his boss wants him to bring his daughter back home because he has to go through all this, you know, Mexico places and tramps across there, you know, to get home. He goes on a train and all that, and there's monsters out there. They look like this giant squid. And then I watched, that gets a 6. Then I watched The Last House on the Left, 2009. It's a remake of Wes Craven's first movie, Last House on the Left. Gets a 4. A big 4. Now, escaped convicts kill the one girl and they rape another girl, and they end up spending the night at one of the girls that are still alive, parents' cottage's house. So yeah, that turns out to be a bloody mess, right? Chop chop and all that shit. Then I watched The Prophecy. That gets a 4 out of 10. That's The Last House on the Left, and this is The Prophecy. And that gets a 4 out of 10. That's from 1995, starring Christopher Walken and Elias Koteas. Oddball horror movie about angels. 4 out of 10. Then I watched 28 Weeks Later, 2007. Jeremy Renner and Rose Byrne, Robert Kyle. It's a sequel to 28 Days Later. Yeah. So yeah, everyone's enclosed in this area, right? And they let somebody in that's contagious, right? And she kisses her husband, and her husband turns into a zombie. He goes around chowing down on everybody. Then they have to kill everybody, shoot everybody. Then they have to blow everybody up. That's a friggin' mess. So that gets a 6. And the last one is the best movie I watched, I'm pretty sure, this week. There's 28 Weeks Later, and there's The Haunting, the one that's the best of them all. Yeah, Julie Harris and Claire Bloom. Julie Harris gets invited to a haunted house. Yeah, very good movie. Very, very, very terrified. Everything's terrified. It's those knocking on wood and banging and all kinds of crazy shit happens in this movie. But it's very good. Very well done. This one I can watch again. So yeah, The Haunting, 1963, gets a big 8. Julie Harris. Alright people, that's what I watched this week. My battery is running down, so I hope everybody stays safe. Wear your mask, and I'll talk to you again next week with the movies that Bob watched. That's me. Alright, from Canada, Toronto, Ontario. Talk to you later. Have a good week, and keep watching those movies.